Uh-oh. Hey, lady. You gotta leave stuff alone. It was kind of a long night. But she's doing really well. She actually rolled over onto her tummy last night at about 3 in the morning. And so she was pretty pissed when she did that. And then, you know, she couldn't move because they had to hold her so that they could fix, because she had gotten pretty tangled in her wires while I was asleep and while the nurse was dealing with another patient. And so they had to hold her while they untangled stuff, and she couldn't move, and then she started throwing a fit and thrashing around, and so it was about a good solid 45 minutes of just misery for everyone. But afterwards I gave her some more pain medication, gave her a bottle that she was actually able to hold down, and so ever since then she's been like a million times better. I think she's learning her limitations, and so there's gonna be some tough moments with that, but she's doing great. Like, she's really doing great. She's had 3 or 4 bottles since then, and mysteriously someone keeps ordering food for her, like actual food, and she hasn't had any yet, so I'm really confused why that's happening. Lillian's great grandma ice cream is coming to visit us today, and then my mother is coming to visit us today. I think that's it for now. Trying to kind of limit her interactions with people for, you know, spreading germs, and then also just it wears her out because she has serious FOMO. Miss Lillian just got some of her IVs out. Okay, so I came out outside for a little bit. They have this little village I was showing earlier. It's for kids, but I wanted some fresh air, and Lillian was asleep, and I was super hungry, so I went and got some food at Camps because it's better than cafeteria food. So whatever. I really wanted to get out of that room and just like be in the fresh air, and my husband has my car, so which we did on purpose, so it's like not a big deal, but it's not like I can go anywhere, so I've just kind of been hanging out and helping the nurses when I can. But you know, sometimes you just need a break, and Lillian was asleep. She was awake for over 2 hours, like over 3 hours this afternoon. There's a little kid that's watching me. I decided to be with her that whole time, so I didn't eat, and I just, you know, haven't eaten since like super early this morning, and I wanted to be like free. My butt is burning on this concrete, and so I'm gonna put this down and find a better place to sit and eat my food. Okay, so I found a place to sit that wouldn't burn my butt off. This is the first time I've taken my jacket off, and the first time I've not been freezing my butt off, so anyway. So Lillian got her chest tubes out. Well, one of her chest tubes out. She's got 2. She got one out. The other one was still putting out a lot of fluid, and so they wanted to go ahead and leave that in. So, and that's fine. I mean, each thing that we remove is a step closer to being done with this whole thing. So, and then both of her pacing wires out. She got the scan thing. I can't remember the name of it. It's like a headband, or it's kind of like a crown. She got that taken off. She is off of oxygen. She got her IVs out. She got her artery line out, and then one of her IVs that was in her leg taken out, and so she's left with her this guy, and then an IV in her arm for medication. She's on mostly on pain medications by mouth at this point. So we only had to use the IV one time this afternoon when she's in a lot of pain. She rolled over again and was trying to crawl around her bed like a freaking weirdo, and she discovered that didn't feel too good, and so then she wanted to lay on her stomach, and they were gonna let her lay on her stomach, and then she sat up, and so she was just moving around, and it was very clear that she was in some severe pain because she was trying to make herself comfortable, and then her heart rate was pretty high. So, but she's fine now. She got her medication, and the thing that I've realized through today, at least, you know, day 2 being in the PICU and all of that, which we are so grateful for. By the way, like, love PICU so much more than NICU. I can actually have a say in my child's care when I didn't before, and so that's surprisingly wonderful. But the thing that I've learned is that the hardest thing to do in all of this is not so much caring for her, it's more so the hardest thing is to determine her pain management, because she can't talk and she can't tell us what's hurting her or if she needs more medicine. And so, and it, you know, we can do, you know, what we can by monitoring how much she has every so often, but it's been tricky, but we're getting a handle on that now. So our next step is to get that other chest tube out and see how she does, and hopefully will be moved out of the cardiac intensive care unit tomorrow afternoon, and then moved to a regular room. We got a smile out of her today. She was playing around with the nurses. She was playing with her pacing wires and like waving them around, and she had some breathing treatments last night and today, and she really liked this other respiratory therapist this afternoon, and she would just like calm down and immediately go to sleep, and it was just, it's been a good day. It's been a hard day and I'm exhausted, but it has been a good day. The tubes out, and we got the dressing taken off, and then we got the wires taken out, and then we got a new dressing for this tube, and we got our noise machine that we love so much. No. And then we're gonna eat some dinner. What do you think about that? You want some dinner? Are you caught? Yeah, you're a little caught. Okay. Alright, we got all our lovely things and soft things and wonderful things. Yes, we do. And we got smiles. Hopefully, fingers crossed, she can move out of the PICU and into a regular, just like, medical room, and then we'll be closer to being home. I got to hold her today, which I was super stoked about that, because they had said that as long as like her tubes and like stuff like that were still in, that we wouldn't be able to hold her at all. And one of the nurses was like, that's silly. And so she picked her up and put her in my arms, and I held her for about 30-45 minutes, and she calmed down so much. I mean, she was just like anxious and like moving around, kept rubbing her face because she had a lot of anxiety, and so it was nice to be a mom. It was nice to sit down and just love on her and hug her and kiss her little face and all the things that we love to do. And so, yeah, I got to do that, and that was awesome. And then, you know, obviously I helped, well, not obviously, but in my mind, obviously. So then I also got to help as they were changing her bed sheets. I helped her during that time too, and she seemed to really enjoy it. It's hard when, you know, they're changing their dressings and they're changing all this stuff, and they reach for you, and so it is hard. It's really hard. She was like sitting up on her own several times. She just like would just decide that she was gonna sit up, and then she did, and She was real playful and happy and smiling. She rolled over a couple of times, which freaked me the heck out. But, you know, the nurses are pretty adamant. I mean, they don't want her to obviously do that a whole lot, but if she feels comfortable doing it, then they're okay with letting her do it in moderation. The only problem is that she kind of has a tendency to be like, hey, I can do this thing, and so now I'm going to do something more. And so she tried several times to pull up on her bed railing, and you know, when with heart surgery and stuff like that, they don't she's on sternal precautions, and so they don't want them to lift their arms, and they don't want them to pull on things, and they don't want them to push on things. And so I don't that is still one of the number one things that is stressing me out the most, is that, like, when we go home, like, what do? We will have a better idea of what we're supposed to be doing by the time we get home. So that's good. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna go to bed. It's so nice to be in my own bed with my own blanket and not be freezing my freaking rear end off because I was so cold last night. And I'm just cozy and in sweatpants. And I was real weird about leaving Lillian's room. I don't know why. I don't know why I do the things that I do. But I was really, like, super weird, and I tried not to leave often. And so I didn't want to leave, and there's not really space to change in her room. And so I totally just, like, slept in my jeans. And so up until, like, 15 minutes ago, I have been in the same clothes since 6 o'clock yesterday morning. So over 24 hours, for roughly 40 hours, I was in the same clothes. Why do I do this to myself? Anyway, so yeah, that's update for today. I will update you guys in the morning. So, good night.